everyone! Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please remember to subscribe, hit that notification icon to keep up to date on all of our new Disney videos. We cover pretty much everything from Disney hints, Disney tips, Disney vlogs, Disney park videos, Disney history. It's all in there, so yeah, please subscribe, keep up to date.
Yeah. So today's video is going to be another one on Walt Disney World, but I mean, Walt Disney World was our favourite place to go on holiday. It was so magical, we had the best trip ever, but like everything else, it does have its not so good aspects. So today's video is going to be our top 5 worst rides and attractions at Walt Disney World.
So in at number 5 we have It's Tough to Be a Bug, based on the movie Bug's Life. This is a 9-minute 4D film with some live animatronics thrown in there, just to sort of keep everything a little bit more exciting. It opened in 1998 in Animal Kingdom and is actually based sort of underneath the Tree of Life, which is sort of the landmark of Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. And it was an opening day attraction, wasn't it, for Animal Kingdom as well? So we would say 2 of the, well, probably the only redeeming features for It's Tough to Be a Bug are the fact that it's in the Animal Kingdom's landmark, so it's inside the Tree of Life, which is beautiful. Like all the carvings of all the animals on the outside are amazing, and they all sort of give you that perception of everything being part of the one circle of life, which we all know is
the Disney mind.
And the other really good thing is the pre-show. So basically, before everything kicks off, it's not too bad. Like once you go inside the Tree of Life, you feel like you're actually inside a tree, which I guess is obviously what they're going for, which is pretty good. And then there's a whole load of Disney puns all around the walls. So they're sort of giving you the perception that you're going into a Bugs theatre.
Yeah.
So there's like all sorts of plays on famous theatre shows and musicals and Disney movies with sort of bug and insect twists. So you've got like Beauty and the Bees and Auntie for Annie, obviously Beauty and the Bees being Beauty and the Beast. And also as soon as you go in, you're given 3D glasses, which they call bug eyes, which again sort of adds to the theming a little bit. So it all sort of seems to be building up into something pretty good, and then it starts, and that's kind of another story.
I think the 3D glasses, the bug eyes, are so you become an honorary bug to sort of immerse you a little bit more into it.
Yeah, which is pretty cool, but like I was just...
Yeah, again, good concept.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
So you walk in, an animatronic flick, he sort of dangles down from the ceiling. He looks quite good, to be fair. He's actually dated reasonably well compared to a lot of the other animatronics at Disney. You see Hopper later on, he's still in fairly good condition to be quite an old animatronic. And then after you sit down, you put on your bug eyes, and then they treat you to a short movie about what it's like to be a bug. So it's okay, it's sort of almost direct to DVD sort of quality, or you have sort of the dung beetles doing a big jazz number about sort of how they collect all your poo and it makes everything alright because they're there. And then it sort of splits into the second part, which is where Hopper sort of comes out.
Hopper tries to exterminate all of the humans with black widow spiders and hornets, which is just sort of not very entertaining or a little bit on the scary side for kids. And there's a lot of that sort of throughout it, and towards the end this is where sort of the 4D aspects come into force. So just as you're about to leave, Flick says that you should let the bugs leave first, and then you feel like bugs are actually like eating your bum, which is yeah, it's really horrible. And I remember watching this when I went in 2000 as a kid and just hated it. It's just such a horrible feeling.
So it either terrifies you if you're like a young child or Marianne, or you're just sort of apathetic towards it. You don't really seem to have a middle ground of people who enjoy it.
Yeah, just not sort of got that comfortable middle.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not really entertaining anyone. You're just sort of disappointing everyone.
Way to go, Disney.
But for me, the thing that really lets the attraction down is just because it seems to waste like this glorious, magnificent landmark that is the Tree of Life. Number 4 on our list is Mission Space. So this is located in Epcot. It's been there since 2003, which is slightly evident as it does seem quite dated. It was put there under the time of when Michael Eisner was CEO of Disney. He was trying very hard to put sort of other bits of intellectual property into the park as opposed to just hardcore Disney stuff.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have the same Disney charm. So the ride, as the name suggests, is a sort of training simulation for if you're trying to be an astronaut. So it teaches you all the basic controls, everything, and simulates all the experiences that you might feel. So everything from blast off to hyperspace to the increased G-force and all those sorts of things. Yes.
Like, what's hyperspace? Hypersleep.
So it's essentially a simulation machine which sort of gives you the experience of being an astronaut, and it's meant to be sort of a like training simulator sort of thing. So it gives you increased G-force, you go into hypersleep, you blast off into space, you do all of those general astronauty things.
Yeah, and how much G-force?
2.5 Gs.
Yeah, and like on roller coasters you get...
Roller coasters like 4.5 or something like that.
Yeah, and it feels like a heck of a lot more.
Yeah, it's the way that it works, the way that it applies the G-force does the simulation, is you're in this little capsule, which has then got an arm attached to it.
And a very, very confined space.
Very confined space.
What it feels like.
I think there's 4 people that you're just kind of like...
Yeah, and you've got like this screen in front of you.
Yeah, so then you're in this capsule and it's got this little arm attached to it, and it tilts it and it spins it and it goes around and stops and yada yada yada. Yeah. And all of that, it applies the different amounts of G-force to you. But then as you're watching the screen, then obviously it's supposed to be a simulation, you feel like you're going vroom. They do actually blow air into it as well as a way to sort of reduce motion sickness and to try and make it a bit more realistic, but it doesn't really seem to work.
No, it does not get rid of motion sickness. I wasn't actually physically ill, but I had to just sort of chill out for about half an hour afterwards. Yeah. And I don't really tend to get motion sick very much. But we did there's 2 types of mission. So there's an orange mission and a green mission. We did the orange one, which is supposed to be the more intense one. Please avoid it if you've ever felt motion sick in your entire life, because I just felt horrible. And apparently they had to bring in the green one because a lot of people, when they first implemented mission space, were feeling really ill, so they had to bring in like a less intense mission for people.
Yeah, in addition to like adding sick bags and everything, because like no one could cope with it. But then we were looking into it, and like loads of so many people, they're like, oh yeah, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I do the Disney marathon every year, and I don't get motion sickness on any rides, like sort of at Space Mountain, it's just like child's play. And
Tower Terror, everything.
Yeah, and then they go on this and then they feel sick for like a few hours afterwards.
Yeah, it's rubbish. It can completely ruin your day. And it's just, the simulation is okay, but you're just sort of waiting for something really exciting to happen.
But I didn't get any motion sickness from it at all. Actually, I was okay with that. Maybe I'm just tired. But I didn't find it very thrilling at all.
Yeah.
As well, neither did you. You didn't find it thrilling.
No, I did
motion
not.
Sickness, so
yeah.
It's just, again, it just misses that mark, sort of. So the concept of it, the theory behind it, is really, really good because you have this intense, thrilling experience.
Yeah.
But
I'd love to be an astronaut. This sounds awesome, but it just does not deliver.
Yeah, it did have a large refurbishment recently, actually. I think of July this year. We haven't been on it again since it reopened, so maybe it is a lot better now. Maybe they've changed it.
Yeah. If you've been on it recently and you felt an improvement, then leave us a comment and let us know. And if this goes for everything on this list, if you do disagree with us, let us know and let us know why.
One of the other things that people seem to mention as well quite often, which I thought slightly at the time, but I thought it was just me being an idiot, is that the sensations and the visual display are slightly out of sync as well, which does just completely throw off the whole experience.
I was feeling too ill to even like worry about that.
So it literally just sort of destroys the whole immersiveness sort of thing. Like that is the whole point behind it, that you feel the forces you're seeing and you're like, oh, it just throws it completely off this sort of second delay or half a second lag behind you.
I can't believe I didn't even notice that.
So number 3 on our list is Stitch's Great Escape, located in Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom. So this ride opened in 2004, replacing the extraterrestrial alien encounter, which was essentially the same ride, just a more adult sort of version of it. This ride seems to be loosely based on the opening sequence of Lilo and Stitch, when Stitch... Lilo! What?
Lilo and Stitch!
So you're a new recruit, you're one of the new guards, and you're having your training on the teleportation systems.
Yeah.
And Stitch manages to break free, he escapes, and you encounter him sort of burping and slobbering and spitting on everyone, and then he hops on your shoulders, and then he manages to escape, and then that's pretty much the whole thing. You just sit and observe that happening to you.
Yeah, that's like the ride segment is basically a high security prisoner has escaped, which is Stitch, and then you're sort of led through what you should be doing by an audio animatronic called Surgeon, and and he sort of tells you what you should be doing, and then how the prisoners should be reacting, what they should be doing. And obviously Stitch sort of does the complete opposite. Now, one sort of redeeming feature of this is that Stitch, the animatronic of Stitch, actually looks quite expensive. Like, they put time, effort, money and everything into him, but just the rest of it is just quite lame.
Just a bit.
You just sort of leave the ride, if you can call it that, thinking, like, is that it? And just the bits where, like, Stitch, you're supposed to be feeling like Stitch is like bouncing on your shoulders, so it's like a 4D experience. Like, you feel him jumping around and you feel his spit and horrible things like that. But especially the bit where Stitch is supposed to be bouncing on your shoulders, you've got sort of like shoulder, like a harness thing like you would have on a roller coaster, and because it's getting pushed down, it hurts quite a lot. It's just, I wouldn't say actual like proper pain, but it's just uncomfortable.
But no, for me it's just a very sort of lackluster, lazy sort of ride. But at the end you're like, like you're sitting there, it's like, this is a really long introduction to a ride, like, when's the ride actually going to start? And it's like, thank you for riding Stitch.
Actually, I've thought one really good thing about this ride. Mickey's not so scary, it becomes a treat location.
Oh yeah. We got lots of treats there.
That's good. They like empty the bucket into our bag, which was awesome. But the ride itself, I wouldn't bother.
The main issues with this ride sort of stem from the history of it, because as mentioned, it used to be extraterrestrial alien encounter, which was quite loved at the time, and sort of still has like a massive cult following today with people who still love this ride. Like, people praise it for its mature content and great storytelling and the advanced technology, because it was a very similar thing, but as opposed to Stitch being there, they would have an actual alien there, and like with the chairs, sort of, you said how the way they sort of pushing you, that's meant to be like an actual terrifying alien possibly eating you, and then it's blood splattering on you instead of Stitch's spear. So it was very mature. But that's sort of why people loved it. They thought Disney was being brave for sort of putting this thing. But it was a genuinely loved ride, and still to this day has a massive cult following with people who still say it is a great ride. But obviously, because it was like genuinely terrifying in parts of it, over sort of the course of its history, there are lots and lots of complaints from probably angry parents who took their kid onto it and traumatised them. It's like, no, it's not deserving to be in the Magic Kingdom, it doesn't deserve to be in this place, it's sort of, this is not Disney. So because of all the controversy, Disney had to scrap it, and then around about the same time they had this Lilo and Stitch sort of film coming out, so it's like, okay, we can have an animated movie tie-in, how we can get rid of this issue. So number 2 on our list is Primeval World. Woo! Everyone, woo! Great ride! So you have Animal Kingdom, then inside Animal Kingdom you have Dino Land USA. Then inside Dino Land USA you have Chester and Hester's Dinorama, which is kind of like, they call it a old schooly roadside attraction sort of thing, and it's all carnival themed. When we say carnival themed, what I see it as is kind of like a off the back of a truck, do it yourself, build your own fun fair for amateurs in your back garden sort of carnival themed. That's the vibe you get from the whole of this little mini land in the land. And then obviously Primeval World is sort of the pinnacle of this rustic, rickety, rundown rubbish.
Bring it there, Grace!
Sorry, go on, move on. Go on, darling.
Yeah, basically this whole land in a land in a land it's just like another thing for parents to like spoil kids who just can't say no to them to chuck more money at making their children happy, like, because there's other sort of carnival inspired stalls like Hook a Duck and that kind of stuff that you get at a fun fair, and you do actually have to pay for that, and this is on top of, like, for 2 weeks worth of tickets for an adult, if you buy directly from Disney, it's £370. So yeah, to spend another like $3 on playing Hook a Duck and like Hoopla is just a joke. And obviously Disney are doing this because some parents will happily pay this. Like some people have the money for it, fair enough. Some people don't, but they'll still pay for it. But
I'm frankly slightly disgusted with Disney to like even put it there, to even sort of attempt to be charging people more money to play like hook it up. So the backstory to this ride and to the Little Land is that Chester and Hester are two locals, sort of to make a quick buck, to cash in on the popularity of the local dinosaur fossil museum and the dinosaur ride. So they converted their petrol station
gas station
into a little fossil museum and created the ride Primeval Whirl to rival Dinosaur. So
Disney's excuse for it being rubbish is that it's supposed to be rubbish. Disney's just like, yeah, you're supposed to be rubbish, promise. So I sort of think it's a bit of a lie. I think Disney were like, actually, yeah, this is a bit rubbish.
We'll give
Let's say we did it on purpose.
But they do give you fair warning. The backstory of the ride is that it's supposed to be rubbish. It is supposed to be a rubbish ride, which is a rip-off of the good ride that's next door.
Which was shut when we went.
But obviously we don't want to paint all of Dinoland USA in a bad light.
No.
They do have some good things there. They've got the Finding Nemo the musical show there.
Which is so good. That's like a proper, like, I would say sort of West End, like a cute little West End show.
They got the puppets there and everything.
It's great, yeah. And Dinosaur the ride itself is meant to be really good.
It's just this very specific contained area of it, which is quite possibly, or very easily, the worst area in the whole of Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I would agree.
You love dinosaurs, though.
I love dinosaurs. I really love dinosaurs, but this is diabolical. It sort of has all these horrible turns and twists and...
So Primeval Whirl, they should just like call it Whiplash or something like that.
And you're just getting like pushed around and it hurts your neck. And I had a headache and it made my headache worse. And looking at it, I don't think it looks as bad as it feels. But you're on it and you're like, ow.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Ow.
It moves slowly and then it quickly spins and then it quickly jolts you slow, then it spins up and you
down
quickly
backwards
spin. And then it's constantly spinning, but it does all of these movements which seem more specifically designed to cause sort of long-term spinal injury as opposed to being an enjoyable ride.
I wasn't joking when I was saying bring a neck brace, like for real.
The sort of history behind Dinoland USA is that they actually were going to invest quite a lot of money into it because it was meant to be riding off the back of the dinosaur film, which just flopped itself. So nothing to do with that actually. But no, it's just a shame, but it seems like there's been no sort of love or effort put into this ride at all. Like I said, it's just boring and painful. So number one on our list. I'm actually quite scared of saying this actually.
I'm not.
This is too controversial.
I'm not.
Because I know as soon as I open my mouth, I will be like sort of shunned by the Disney community.
Disney shame.
So this is a very loved attraction. It's been around since 1971, I think it was.
Opening day attraction.
Opening day attraction of Frontierland. Overwhelmingly loved and adored by people for decades. It's had its own film as well, which wasn't a very good film, but I don't think very many films based on rides usually are.
So can anyone guess what it is yet?
It is the Country Bear Jamboree!
Yes, it is.
I just couldn't stand this.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know what it was that we missed, but we sort of missed the boat on this one.
Yeah, we both just sort of sat there like, can we go? Is it rude to sort of walk out? We didn't really seem to understand it. Other people sort of rolled on the floor, they were laughing, they were howling, they thought it was the best experience they've ever had, and we just sat there like, did they tell the joke yet?
We're like, when does it get good?
It's a 16-minute long animatronic sing-along experience sort of thing. So you have this whole variety of bears.
It's a show.
It's a show. You have all these bears and they can sing songs. You have a variety of bears and it's a continuous string of country western songs, one after the other. The curtain rises, he sings the song, curtain goes down, the next bear, curtain rises, he sings, so on, repeat. One thing we do have to give the attraction credit for is the theme in it. It does actually have really good theming. They have bears there rising up from the floor, they're hanging down from the ceiling, you have these animatronic, sort of one of the animatronic mooses, who sort of mounted on the wall in the audience, and he talks to the audience, then he talks to the bears on the stage, and they interact really well.
Yeah, it doesn't redeem it though.
maybe one of the reasons why I didn't quite hit with us, or we didn't really find it funny, was maybe it was a cultural thing. We didn't really understand some of the southern references or some of the sort of jokes that were in there.
Maybe.
Things which was maybe meant to be sort of satirising, we didn't understand what actually things.
Yeah.
They do have a version in Tokyo, which I did watch videos of, which I actually thought was a little bit that. Even though they were singing in Japanese, I still enjoyed it more. But overall, we just found the music to be dull and the characters sort of unendearing sort of thing. They weren't very...
Yeah, just a bit...
Yeah, they weren't very interesting. Like, you can see bits when they were funny. So one of the bears, she was sort of the fat lady, but she was the fat lady bear. And that's sort of her thing. She sings and then that's kind of it.
Now, there was a version of this in Disneyland, and this is probably one reason why a lot of hardcore Disney fans really love it, is because it's one of the last attractions that Walt himself actually oversaw development of. But the one in Disneyland's Critter Country did actually shut in 2001, and it was replaced by the Winnie the Pooh Dark Ride. So they've maybe seen the light. So that's it. That's our top 5 worst attractions and rides that Walt Disney World has to offer. Comment below if you agree with us or disagree with us. We want to know your reasons why, and make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe so you don't miss all of our future Disney adventures.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all these rants actually. They're going to be nice and fun to read.
Yeah, please do comment, because we really do want to know what people enjoy about these. We're genuinely interested to know.
Yeah, of course these are just our opinions, so we'd love to know sort of all your thoughts on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It could be that people love Stitch, that we've just sort of misread all the signs.
Perhaps, yeah, we'll see.
But thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye!
Bye!